Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So, what do you think of the results tonight? What are your feelings about everything?
Honestly, I was rooting for Rachel for the past month or so. Once it got down to the final 5 or 6 or so, I was like, of everyone left in the house, she deserves it. She's played a game. Then these last few weeks, I kind of moved over to Team Portia's side. I was like, Portia chose a side, she stuck to it, and she really stepped it up, and she started winning a couple things and getting more vocal. And so I was really rooting for her. So I was sad for Portia that she didn't win, And my concern with Rachel is, okay, she's obviously a poor loser. Is she going to be a poor winner as well?
What do you mean by that?
Just not a gracious winner. I feel like Portia would have been a gracious winner, but
right? Okay,
it happened. So.
But we saw you kind of have a scuffle with Rachel. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised that you say you were rooting for her when it just seemed like she was the one.
Well, that's the thing. Ultimately, did she have a lot to do with me going home? Yeah, she wasn't the only one, on board with that. But she did. But at the same time, it is a game, and I'm not somebody to hold a grudge. There's people out there that don't like me, that aren't going to care for me, and that's okay. I've got my family, I've got my friends, I've got the people in my corner that really know who I am. So she didn't bring me down. She didn't affect me, and I think that's why her and I butt heads so much in the house, is because she realized early on that I wasn't somebody that was going to take to heart what she thought of me, and I didn't care of her opinion for me, so that's why we didn't talk much. As far as gameplay set and all the other sides, she was playing a game, and so I was rooting for her for a bit there.
Partially, it could have been because she was jealous as well. That was the thinking.
You know what I'll say about Rachel, and this is partly in her defense, I guess, as nice as I can put it. I don't think it was so much that Rachel didn't like me. I think it's that Rachel's not comfortable with who she is as a person. She hasn't figured that out yet. And I think that she saw that that I am comfortable with myself, and I had friends in the house, and I had people that I enjoyed spending time with, and vice versa. And so I think that was a bit of a threat to her.
But a lot of people also. Sorry, I forgot my question. And it's going to be a good question too. Oh, right. You told her that she was a catty person.
Yeah.
Ugly inside.
Still feel that way.
Yeah? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I do. She might be a nice person outside of here, but if coming on to, a reality television show for a few months is going to rock you so much to your core that it changes who you are, I don't believe that. I think that what I saw in here is her. And, maybe she has a nicer way of going about it when there's not the incentive of money, but I think that's just who she is, and I think maybe with time, once she, finds her own security with herself, maybe, that'll get better, but, she's, there's people out there you're not going to care for, and her and I were just two different people, and so I don't see us being friends, but that doesn't mean I won't be polite to her when I see her, she's not somebody I'm going to go to lunch with, But,
fair enough.
Yeah.
And you were paired up with Shelly. What was your strategy coming into the house, and how did that change when the twist happened?
Strategy coming into the house was kind of actually what I did. I wanted to just know myself. I know I get along with guys, and I relate to them. I don't like all the catty, as I said, all that shenanigans that goes on amongst girls, and so I knew a safety net for me would be to align with a couple men in the house, and just tell them right from the get-go, hey, I know I'm a female, but I'm a cool girl, just give me a chance, and that's what I did with the boys, and that's how the regulators started. And so the duo twist that definitely threw a wrench in everybody's game, and then having the veterans come back, it was a lot of stuff night one that just kind of all your plans just are out the window. But I was rolling with it, and could I have done better, partnering with one of the boys possibly, but you don't know anyone from Adam coming into the house. I looked over at Shelly, and she was, honed in on me, and she said, me and you, and I'm like, yeah, she seems like a cool lady, sure. And I honestly thought those first couple weeks in the house that Shelly was just so happy to be here that she was just hanging out. So she really had me fooled. And, I think maybe she chose me specifically to, kind of be her first sacrifice to the vets, but you know, it happened. There's nothing I can do about it now. It sucks, but you know, we played a great game.
Well, what do you think of the game? I mean, there's so many lies. It's like, how do you trust
The
her?
one thing that I would fault Shelly for, the one thing, is not just being honest in the DR. You know, it's like, as America, you can't pull the wool over us. We're all at home watching the live feeds and, you know, seeing what's being said online and Twitter and the conversations, the vlogs and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, when you get in the DR, just be honest. You know, yeah, you just told this lie. Be honest about it in there, you know, because we know, we saw it happen. But as far as her game, you know, competitively, Shelly's not real strong. She'll tell you that herself. And so she made up for that slack by playing a great social game, and it eventually caught up with her. But that's going to happen when you're living, you know, with so few people in a confined space and everyone talks all the time. It's bound to happen. But she did play a great game.
And why couldn't the regulators just work out? Because it would have been an awesome newbie team.
It was a great idea in theory. Honestly, if it hadn't been for, you know, Porsche jumping ship as early as she did, you know, and then losing Kalia and Shelly that first vote, you know, I rallied so hard for Keith, and I campaigned all week long, you know, A, B, C, and D, why it was smart to keep him. And I think at that point we had already lost them to the other side. And had that not have happened, we could have absolutely run it. You know, had we been able to stick around a little bit and pick a couple of them off first, yeah, could have totally happened. And then, you know, as far as Jeff and Jordan goes, I had made the decision that, you know, I was going to stick with them. My target was not Jeff and Jordan, it was Brennan and Rachel. So it could have been a whole other game had things, you know, started off a little different, but in hindsight, you know.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people seem to be intimidated by the vets when they came in, but not you.
The thing that I stress to the rest of the newbies is, yeah, that's great, cool people, we've all seen them on TV, but they're the same as you and I. They've just played this game once before, but they're just people outside here that got invited back. We're here to play. You can mingle and chit-chat after the show, you know, and of course there's plenty of downtime. We hang out and stuff. It's fine. But, you know, we were one of 8 people out of thousands that wanted to be here, and we got, you know, blessed and fortunate enough to be here. Let's play. And that's what I kept stressing. And, you know, Adam, God love him, but, you know, he treated them as if they were demigods. And, you know, there was no shaking him, so.
And even though you were out second, what was this experience like for you?
It was incredible. I honestly, you know, I'm not bitter what went down. You know, it hurts, and it's, you know, it's bittersweet sometimes, you know, watching the show and being like, oh God, I could have done that. You know, I want to be back there. But it was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it. I'm glad I did it, and yeah, I had a great time, honestly.
Awesome. Okay, well, I hope we see you again.
Thank you.
And I know your fans will want to see more of you, so good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.